Well, hello there, VC. I just felt like making a quick video. I'm going to try to do some quick ones. Obviously, the Asset Archives videos will be quick videos, so in between those, just a couple other things, a couple of little topics I want to discuss. This one isn't really even a topic, just 4 records I've been sort of investigating today. Sort of a couple new, some upgrade. Just wanted to sort of talk about these 4. A couple are specific to the what has been sort of my 2024 sort of recurring interest in the mind melt. My little section of blissful music. And I'll tell you what that was. But first off, hope everyone's doing great. I just finished listening to the upgrade I have here of Voice of the Turtle, probably from one of my favorite artists of all time, if not my favorite artist of all time, John Fahey, as our our stupid Google thing calls him. Sometimes when I'm making, when we're cooking or doing coffee in the morning, I'll just put on a playlist of John Fahey, and I have to say John Fahey for it to understand. Anyway. This is Voice of the Turtle, 1968. I just upgraded this. I had the second label, the second black label. I just upgraded it to the very first true black label, very first pressing. So what I had previous, I still have the copy. I have that. I'll probably sell that, or if someone needs it, let me know. But if you don't know, up till about, this is a pretty late one actually. But up until about 66, 67, the very first Tacoma records all have this shiny black label like that. The second black label, I don't have in front of me, but it's more of a matte. It's a different typeset and a matte sort of finish on the label. So I try to get every single black label of this sort that I can. So I just got this. And of course I spun it again. And Voice of the Turtle, 68, yeah, I said 68, so that is a late one for that label. It's truly one of Fahey's more bonkers records. Certainly him experimenting with drones, psychedelia, field recordings. The notes section is a giant attached booklet to this. It features him returning to his bluesman roots, the Blind Joe Death or Hubert Thomas. I think of some of the other sort of pseudonyms he takes on. He does like this old bluesman voice on it, which is maybe not the best, but I enjoy it. The true centerpiece of this record is the Raga Cult Pat 3 and 4. Just says Tibetan Buddhist monks John Fahey and Gamblin' Gamelan Gong, whatever that means. And then he's also joined on here by Mark Levine, who I don't see him. I think, yeah, I had all this history down when I did my big John Fahey video, but he's a singer-songwriter and did his own record, which I think might be in the Asset Archives. I have to check. I used to have it, but I sold it. But he's on this. Anyway, this is a must-have John Fahey for me. Well, they're all must-haves pretty much, but yeah, he really is screwing around in this one. Story of Dorothy Gooch Part 1 is awesome. But yeah, the Raga Cult Pat 3 and 4, there's so much cool stuff happening in that on that track. Goes from side 1 to side 2. So, never a bad excuse to listen to Fahey, especially when you upgrade that label. I have to check again. There's maybe one I'm still not quite first on with these early labels, but I thought I had them all. I know there actually is a Basho. I don't have the first black label, but I'll get there. I'm basically there. We're listening to a band that's a centerpiece of the Mind Melt, Arica. This is Oscar Chazo's Arica School, which is very much a peace-based, a group that uses meditation and sort of inner spirituality to sort of like transcend. How else can I put it? I'm not a sort of a member of the Arica School, but you can still attend. You can still go see. The school is still in Connecticut. and it's very much alive and well. And Oscar Ichazo from Bolivia, he founded this school, and the people, the followers, the disciples of the Arica school made records, most notably on the Just Sunshine label, the Heaven record, which is absolutely incredible, the 2 Private Press records, and then this one. There's very little info on this. I think it was originally recorded in the early 2000s, and was pressed to vinyl maybe 10 years later. There's no information on this. However, there's no insert or anything. Music in the Nine Rings. It's kind of the signature. There's very little info on who does, and no one's credited on the records. And this one's no exception. But this one is spectacular. And you can still get copies of this. They're technically dead stock. I'll link to it below. I bought this maybe 3 or 4 years ago. I remember Brandon Faust in the Head being like, hey, that you can buy copies of this. And I was shocked. And sure enough, there's still copies. The same place I bought it. So look for this. Arica 9, Music in the Nine Rings. That's what we're listening to right now. Yeah, I'll link to where you can get it below. Beautiful, meditative music. Absolutely, mind melting, as I like to say. I also got this in January, I think. An artist I knew pretty well. I wasn't really into his first band, but I have a bunch of Robert E. Lowe's music, and I have a few LYANS records, but it was all digital. I didn't have any records of his until this one. This was certainly a stunty recommendation. It's heavily played on one of his streams, and so it sort of caused me to refocus my attention to his music. This is certainly in that drone I talked about with the Arica record, but a little more sort of electronic bass, a little more, modern sounding, but absolutely just as heavenly. It's on the Holy Mountain label, and the title is The Psychic Nature of Being. I knew it was The Psychic Nature. I forgot it was Being. Anyway, there's the label. Typical with some records that Stunty champions on his stream, the demand goes up. And so this one did, and so I just waited it out, and it finally came down to a normal price of about $40. So I absolutely love it. Yeah, it may end up in the Mind Melt section. We'll see. But yeah, this is LYANS, but the artist is Robert E. Lowe, or Robert Lowe. There we go. And he was in this post-hardcore sort of emo-core band called 90 Day Men, and he's released stuff under his own name. He's had some records on Type, which I've talked about with Michael. And I forget where he's at right now, but probably still recording. I'm just not totally familiar with what. So, but this is The Psychic Nature of Being. Yeah, droney, post-rock, definitely. I talked about like that video I did about ambient guitar. That would be sort of in here. There's a guitar in here. There is an insert. It doesn't really list what he plays, I don't think. This is from 2005. Holy Mountain, a label I don't think is still in existence. It might be, I could be wrong. But I'll need to go back and check out, when I have a chance, some of his other music, because I think there's good stuff there. I do. So that's that one. Yeah, I think they have 4 records to show in this little video here, so I'm not going to keep you. I like to do long videos, as you know, but I do want to intersperse some short ones. And the last one I'll show, yeah, Stunty reminded me of this one too. My first listen on this, it didn't floor me, but then I was going through some of the new releases on International Anthem, and I got refocused on this one. Tom Skinner, who's in The Smile. Voices of Bashara. It is really good. I really got into it on a repeated listen. Voices of Bashara. Nice insert from International Anthem. Shabaka Hutchings is on this, who's in Comet is Coming, and Sun's Comet, I think I have that right. Also featuring, and Tom Skinner's a drummer, by the way. Kareem Days, cello. Diaz, he's another artist that's known. I think it's just Days. Nubia Garcia, tenor sax and flute. Tom Herbert, acoustic bass. Yeah, and Shabaka Hutchings. This is from, well, I think it was recorded earlier, but it came out in 2023, I think. But the drummer, Tom Skinner, he is the the composer, and this is certainly in that sort of free but spiritual, avant-garde, but sort of modern and groovy thing that International Anthem has been, really killing it with. This is just a black vinyl. So I was happy to find this again, and it's in print, readily in print, at least this black one is, and it was cheap. So yeah, I just wanted to show that again. What is I think it's been discussed, the stupid hype stickers. In this case, the International Anthems, this case on the Obi can be really over the top. And this is a split with Brownswood Recordings, by the way. Sculpted around timeless and deeply emotional music that contains masses of movement and exceptional harmonic depth and texture. It sweeps and soars through sound worlds, rich in musicality and always anchored by the deep doubling of cello and bass. It also contains Skinner's percussive magic, drumming skills that have brought artists from Grace Jones to Johnny Greenwood to request him on their records and tours. Tom Skinner voices Bashara. Alright, that's what I got for you. Quick little video of what's been spinning and playing today on a late Monday in March. I'll talk to you soon.